Hey, Chris Lance with the Peanut Gallery here, obviously in my backyard that you could see. A nice breezy day with the waves and the palm trees. Just wanting to pass a little bit along about what the Peanut Gallery is going to be doing over the next several weeks. I am currently trying to schedule guests, obviously. Some will be sports related, some will not. Trying to keep CNC media alive. My colleague Chris Coburn and I started this several years ago. We were broadcasting ball games. And then in the fall of 2018, we went around and did ball games in Indy, Henry County, Delaware County. We did Eastbrook and Blackford. We were all over the place. Unfortunately, Chris passed away from cancer this past January. But I think it's time for me to keep this going a little bit, if nothing else, in honor of him. Um, and right now I've got plenty of time on my hands. We started off with Mark Cutchall, a very interesting Blackford High School graduate in 1987. He has been working with NASA for the past 19 years, I believe. The company that he works for helps out NASA with different projects, and actually went from Starliner to now he's working on another project for NASA. So the astronauts will be able to adjust the cameras on the shuttle for the pictures. He said he had 18 hours of video from outer space, and being my first interview, I was kind of feeling my way along there. But I should have asked Mark, in those pictures, were any of the Monstars preparing for Space Jam 2 and LeBron James? And to ask them the question, if LeBron James or James Harden's in the movie, because I don't know, if they flop, are they going to handle them like the bad boys of Detroit, or are they going to be like today and just throw their hands up and say, I didn't touch him? So maybe I can get back with Mark and we can get those question answers down the road. But I actually had started an interview with Mitch Waters, who is involved with the Jay County Community Club. He is also a former college and professional baseball player. He is currently coaching girls basketball and just coached a team to probably the biggest turnaround in a year. Went from 1 win to 10 wins, and it's really hard for programs to improve by 9 or 10 wins like that. So I'm going to get back with him as soon as we can and get that. I have got a couple interviews already scheduled for next week. Joni Phillips, who is in 3 different Hall of Fames. She played professional basketball and just did a lot of things when she was in high school, played overseas, just really interesting person. And we're going to get together middle of next week to discuss that. And also I confirmed this morning, Olympic medalist from 2016, synchronized diver, platform diver, Steele Johnson, and his father, Bill, are going to join me in the middle of this week sometime. We're going to get a time together. We were going to get together last night and possibly today, and things just didn't work out. But we're going to talk about what it's been like to prepare for 4 years for an Olympics that isn't going to happen, and how you continue that progression getting ready for the Olympics that will either be held next year or it's not going to be moved again. They said it would be canceled. So we're going to talk about that. I've got Tony Ugan, athletic director, baseball coach, going to come on. I've got Bob Stambazzi, who has a radio station, works for the Bash up in Wabash, Indiana. He helps run the Peru Municipal Golf Course. He is a basketball, football, baseball, softball official. Even had him as an official when I coached back in the day. And he's been coaching high school softball. Going to talk to him. Shane Robbins, who is a superintendent out in South Carolina, who just dealt with tornadoes that devastated his schools to the point where the Carolina Panthers were going to give them a place to have a prom this spring, and then the pandemic set in. So he got hit by a double whammy. We're going to talk with Brian Elliott and Mike Fuqua, a couple IHSAA officials, just about some things and how the games have changed. Drake Wally, who's a broadcaster from Frankfurt, and he also has worked for Center Grove, Southport. I actually met him when at a football game, sectional football game championship down at Sheridan a few years ago. Mark Forrester from WLBC, the Power Hour, covers Delaware County, and he's also worked many IHSAA state championships, different sports. Going to have him on. These are obviously people that have committed to me. Kevin Mahan, former state representative, currently working with community health. Interesting topics there. Peyton Stovall, the assistant athletic director at Purdue University, is committed to come on. I'm going to talk with him. He was a former Ball State Cardinal, played basketball there. He was the athletic director at Lafayette Jeff, and now assistant athletic director at Purdue University. So that should be very interesting. Erica Wyckoff, I think she's in 3 Hall of Fames, maybe more. I'm going to talk to her. She is a golf pro down in Indianapolis. Jill Chapman, IU Hall of Fame, former WNBA player. She's going to come on with us. Kyle Mealy, who's a superintendent at Westdale High School. Talk to him about how they've dealt with some things and also with how things might look going forward. Should be an interesting conversation. Bubba Walter, met him with my new job, current job with BSN Sports. He is out of Ohio, and he coaches basketball at Cincinnati Moeller. You talk about some history. Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Larkin, and just phenomenal athletic programs there. We were actually in Texas when he found out that his team's basketball season would not be finished. So we're going to talk about that. Joni, I already mentioned Joni Phillips. And then the big one that I've had commit is the other day I contacted and heard back from, got a commitment from Marty and Amanda Brenneman. Anyone familiar with the Cincinnati Reds know that Marty is a Hall of Fame broadcaster on, oh my gosh, I can't wait to tap into that. Covering Tom Seaver's only no-hitter as a big leaguer in the late, with his career with the Reds, covering the 75-76 Big Red Machine. Obviously, you can tell, Reds fan. He also, covered Pete Rose's career record hit. Just so many things I think we can talk about, but and hopefully I'm sure I'll have a time limit on that when they're on vacation right now. So I told them I'd get back with them when they got back from Florida. Plus talk to his wife about what it's been like. This would have been a year of change for them anyway. He's retired, no broadcasting, but with no baseball, I'm sure it's been even crazier. He has previewed and done some things leading up to highlights that Fox Ohio has put on with the recaps of the 90 World Series win and the Big Red Machines titles, and then just highlighted games, like I said, Pete Rose, Tom Seaver, Homer Bailey threw a couple no-hitters. So can't wait to tap into that, see what he thinks about, is baseball going to be played this summer or not? I know a lot of experts are saying right now that the NBA is trying to find a way. Of course, there's a tussle there. Everybody's saying they're trying to get back so LeBron can win another championship. Is that spurred on by the Last Dance? Who knows? Then we have NFL's going on time. The NHL's already announced their plan. Major League Baseball is arguing over money. Don't feel like they can afford to do that. The last time there was a strike, it took the steroid era of home run derby with Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa to get baseball back on the map. I don't think that's going to happen again. If they decide not to play at all, they may have a rough time getting a lot of their fan base back next year, whether they're on TV or you could go in person. So lots of great things. Working with Steve Hurd. This will be on CNC Media Facebook page. This will be on the Black BSN Sports Network, YouTube and Facebook, and hopefully we will grow from there. I have reached out to many other people. Want to talk to Ted and Luke Brown, talk about his senior year and what's coming up. Love to talk to many former athletes and just recognizable names. I've actually reached out to Rob Weaver, WPGW radio station. He's seen a lot over the years. Paul Neidig, the new IHSAA commissioner, I have sent him an invitation. Just so many people. Chris Coy in the College Hall of Fame for coaching track and cross country. Mainly his fame came from at Taylor University, but he's also coached Indiana Wesleyan University, and he's also helping his son coach Mount Vernon right now. Just people like that. I reached out to Victor Oladipo. Sam Elmore, who is a contact of mine with the Pacers, reached out to him to see what we can do. Just so many people. A lot of people that I used to go to school with, a lot of people from Indianapolis. Greg Rakestraw, I'd love to have him on. Worked with him with the State Champs Network. That guy's forgot more about sports than most people know. So trying to bring some people some entertainment and some great topics, and we'll just see what happens over the next few months. But I've had 18 people commit, and we're going to go from there, and hope this turns out well. May have one this weekend, don't know. I've got a lot of things going on, but next week's supposed to get my computer back and new hard drive, and we're going to jump in with Joni Phillips, Steele and Bill Johnson, excuse me, and we'll go from there. Until then, Peanut Gallery signing off.